if you remember, we have the biggest oil spill last year in February. That is the sinking of the MP Princess Empress in Mindoro. That was carrying 900,000 liters of industrial fuel oil. This one is carrying about 1.5 million liters of industrial fuel oil. So this is carrying more. But one thing is this happened in shallower water, like about 30 meters. The one last year happened like in about 400 meters. And this one happened within Manila Bay, a major industrial and economic center of the country. However, because of its shallow location, authorities and private salvage company was able to seal, the cargo tanks is still at the seafloor. So as of today, they were able to from the authorities, they were able to seal the leaking tanks, and they are supposed to start the siphoning tomorrow. And some oil residues have been found in some coastal areas of the northeastern provinces, but we believe that these are residues from the fuel or the diesel fuel carried by the tanker.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So is it your sense that they've started to contain it quite quickly?
Yes, I think we've learned from last year, and I think the science of oil spill in the country has improved compared to last year, because there was a fishing ban outright last year. But now, despite of some oil sheen on the surface of the sea, we don't have a fishing ban yet, and because we've learned from the spill last year. So now it's sealed but still in the seafloor. But there was an announcement today that siphoning could possibly start tomorrow if weather condition permits offshore.
Interesting. You study this, and as you pointed out, you've been recovering from a very bad spill last year. How much damage does it do to the environment?
Okay, so the area is a major industrial hub, but we have some mangroves, hectares of, I think more than 100 hectares of mangroves in the area. But we don't have reports yet on the presence of oil residues in the mangroves, because I think only a small amount of oil coming from the tanker came out. So there were some minimal leakage from the industrial fuel oil. And I should say only the marine diesel oil, the fuel of the tanker, has leaked out of the ship. So as of now, I think it's still minimal. And I hope this can be contained, this can be siphoned, and can be removed from its current location within the next 7 days.
Yeah. And give me an idea of how many people are involved? What does it take to try and remove this oil from the water?
Okay, so basically from the national government, so the president of the Philippines, Ferdinand Marcos, already organized an interagency task force, to lead the response. That's actually led by the Office of Civil Defense. Then we have Philippine Coast Guard, we have the Environmental Agency, we have the Social Welfare, and we have also the Interior and Local Government and the Department of Health. And on the site, it's in the National Oil Spill Contingency Plan of the country that the Philippine Coast Guard is the one that is responsible for initial response of oil spill. And they have commissioned a private salvage company. We call it Harbor Star Company. This is the same company that responded to the oil spill last year. So they have an experience on what happened last year. For sure, there are booms deployed on the area. So they are trying to contain the floating oil. There are tugboats, and there could be quite a number, dozens of people involving there. And I've heard that there are also a lot of Philippine Coast Guard vessels on the site that support the response operation of this private company.
Hernando, it's interesting because the Philippines is so vulnerable to these kind of storms.
Yes.
So from what you're saying, there are things you can learn, there are things you can put in place to minimize the impact.
Yes, definitely. The Philippines is an archipelagic country, a country of more than islands and islets, and the economy of the nation. You know, the life of every Filipino is anchored to the ocean, to the marine environment. We are a maritime nation, and the future of our country depends on the health of our marine ecosystem. So we have to learn from every, marine disaster. There is so much to learn from this so that we can respond, to future disasters like this. And yeah, we are also a main consumer of fish and seaweed. And, like a spill like this could eventually affect, fishermen and fish pond and our aquaculture in the area.
Yeah, really interesting to talk to you. We will watch with interest over the coming weeks. Thanks for your time, Hernando.
Thank you so much, and good evening, everyone.